First at 4, President Biden has tested positive for COVID-19. The latest on his symptoms and a message from the president himself. The president's test results threw the First Lady a curveball as she visited a school in Detroit. Paula Tutman was with Dr. Jill Biden. Oakland County steps up its response to monkeypox. We have an update on who's eligible for vaccines and what all of us should be doing. And Paul is working on your forecast.
Indeed, Karen, and the heat's going to stick around for a while, but I'm becoming increasingly concerned about the weekend thunderstorm threat. There could be some significant ones around. I'll have your updated forecast first at 4.
Local 4 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Karen Drew. First at 4, the White House is trying to reassure Americans President Biden is doing well and doing his job in spite of testing positive for COVID-19. The president posted the photo on the left of your screen just a few hours after his results were announced. It shows him working in isolation inside the White House. Now, when the news was announced, his wife, the First Lady, was already in Detroit to visit a local school. She says she has tested negative. Kimberly Gill starts our coverage in the newsroom. Kim, what is the latest on the president's symptoms?
Hi, Karen. Good afternoon. The White House held a briefing a short time ago, and they continue to say the president's symptoms are very minor, described as a dry cough, runny nose, and that he's feeling tired. They also shared a message the president tweeted to the public.
Hey, folks, guess you heard this morning I tested positive for COVID, but I've been double vaccinated, double boosted. Symptoms are mild. And I really appreciate your inquiries and your concerns. But I'm doing well. I'm getting a lot of work done. I'm going to continue to get it done. And in the meantime, thanks for your concern and keep the faith. It's going to be okay.
We're told the president is, quote, comfortably working in the White House residence and will be isolated until he tests negative. He's already started a course of the COVID treatment Paxlovid, which is designed to reduce the severity of the disease. The president is 79 years of age, but in good health otherwise. As you just heard, he's vaccinated and double boosted. The White House COVID-19 coordinator says Americans should be paying attention to how the president is battling COVID.
A reminder of the reason that we all work so hard to make sure that every American has the same level of protection that the president has, that every American has the same level of immunity, and why we have worked so hard to make sure that people have access to life-saving treatments like Paxlovid.
The president was supposed to travel to Delaware today, but his public schedule, of course, has been put on hold for now. The White House says it will provide a daily update on the president's status. And of course, we'll share that information with you and have other updates as needed. Until then, Karen, we'll send it back to you.
All right, we appreciate it. Thank you, Kim.
Sure.
The president has been very open and transparent about his efforts to avoid COVID, but obviously his job involves having contact with so many people. Local 4's Dr. McGeorge put some perspective on what the president was up against and why it's an important reminder for everyone about the current risk.
Given how much public contact the president has and how communicable the current variant is, in many ways it was largely inevitable that he would eventually become infected. Just looking around, you have Tony Fauci who's been infected, you have cabinet members who have been infected. The fact is, it's everywhere. Now, of course, on the flip side, you have one of the most protected men in the world whose close contacts are tested on a routine basis getting infected, which I think is really a testament to how easily the virus spreads. So if you are someone who thinks that you don't need to get vaccinated just because you're not going to get infected, you're really probably fooling yourself.
All right. Thank you, Doc. First Lady Dr. Jill Biden actually arrived in Detroit about 24 hours ago, stayed overnight, and then was scheduled to visit a Detroit public school about 10 o'clock this morning. She showed up just as the news was breaking about her husband. Paula Tutman was there for that dramatic entrance. She is live outside the Schulze Academy for Technology and Arts on Detroit's west side. Paula.
Hi, Karen. Yeah, hi, good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. These kinds of show and tells are very important to an administration because they know the media is going to show up because it's the White House. Even though we don't have an exchange of questions or information, we get to see what they want us to see about how your tax dollars are being spent. Very tightly controlled, well scripted, but let's face it, today, that script was flipped. And we got to see in real time how this White House is dealing with COVID. Today, First Lady Dr. Jill Biden deviated from the program to become the first informer.
My husband tested positive for COVID. I talked to him just a few minutes ago. He's doing fine. He's feeling good.
The revelation comes mid-stump as the First Lady hit the road on behalf of the Biden-Harris administration to tout the federal monies infused into school districts to combat COVID learning loss and summer learning loss.
Hi, good morning. Good morning. Nice to see you all.
In Connecticut yesterday, Detroit, and then Georgia today, the First Lady didn't downplay the diagnosis, but did make a point of saying that the president's symptoms were mild and that because she had tested negative, her schedule would continue as planned.
I tested negative this morning. I am going to keep my schedule. I am, according to CDC guidelines, I am keeping masks. And so I'd like to go in and see the program here. Learning loss as an educator means a lot to me. What did the students tell us, like what you enjoy about the program, like how it's made a difference for you?
Schulte Academy for Technology and Arts in Detroit is where the stop was, and she was every bit the cheerleader for seeing the Biden-Harris American Rescue Plan at work, in which $122 billion has been micro-infused to help schools reopen and to help students catch up.
I can finally say that over the last 2 years, we have felt equitably funded, that we have the resources that our children and families need to be successful.
We're going to learn about figurative language.
For the Detroit Public Schools Community District, of the billions allotted to various states and districts, DPSCD received $808,495,042, according to Detroit's Chalkbeats calculation. And so the First Lady saw firsthand summer learning and summer enrichment programs, from photography to cooking and nutrition.
So you take this home with you and you cook for your family?
There was palpable excitement from the First Lady and Education Secretary Miguel Cardona. Now, you know, it's always important when the White House comes into communities, we cover that. And so I guess you could say that we kind of had two big White House stories happening in Detroit today. But here's the other side of this, Karen, and that is that this school district really wanted to tout what it's been able to do with tax dollars, your money. They don't really get an opportunity to do that when something like this happens. But we are going to dive a little bit more into it as we're able to coming up at 5. Karen.
All right. Thank you, Paula. And our coverage of the president's diagnosis continues at 5 and 6. And NBC will be taking over tonight at 6:30 on NBC Nightly News. Look for team coverage anchored by Lester Holt right here on Local 4. All right, so right now, let's check on your first forecast. If you've been outside, it's another scorcher, but much quieter than 24 hours ago when those storms were rolling through. Paul, what is the story for this afternoon and evening?
Oh, you're not kidding, Karen. A much quieter scenario than yesterday. You can see the humidity, though, still hanging in the air. Look how fuzzy the shot is, and temperatures are in the upper 80s to right around 90. In fact, Detroit has officially hit 90 degrees for today, so it's another scorcher out there, and the heat's going to be sticking around for a couple, 3-4 days here. So we're going to be, not until we get into next week are we going to get relief from that. But you can see here on the satellite imagery, we're just mostly sunny. Now, you notice this little curl back here to the west. There's a little disturbance that's going to be crossing the southern part of the state overnight. That could trigger an isolated shower either later this evening or overnight. Not a big deal. It's just going to be hot, and we're going to be struggling to get even into the upper 70s by midnight. But still to come, we're going to talk about the heat, which sticks around, but I'm getting really concerned about the severe storm threat this weekend. So I'll have all the details you need to know to help plan your weekend in just a few, Karen.
All right, thank you, Paul. New York reporting the first case of polio in the U.S. in nearly a decade. A person in Rockland County, a suburb of New York City, has tested positive. Now, we only know the patient is an unvaccinated young adult who developed paralysis. The polio strain may have come from someone who received the oral polio vaccine. Now, it contains a mild virus strain that can still spread. That version of the polio vaccine is no longer given in the U.S., so experts believe this transmission chain started abroad. Oakland County has become the first county in Michigan to form a task force focusing on monkeypox. Leaders say they don't want to be alarmists, but they do want to be prepared. Oakland County has the most infections in the state right now, with 5 confirmed cases. Infections have also been reported in Detroit, Wayne, Washtenaw, Kent, and Macomb counties. So far, the state is only offering vaccines to people who may have been exposed to the virus because it only has 1,800 doses. The Oakland County Task Force is working on education, contact contact tracing, also getting prepared for when more vaccines are available. The symptoms include a painful rash or flu-like symptoms. Close contact is required to spread the virus. Doctors say everyone needs to be on the lookout and take precautions.
If an individual is having symptoms of monkeypox, whether it be the characteristic sores that you can see on the podium over there, or if they're having symptoms similar to influenza, is probably not a good time to be intimate or close to other people until that problem is identified. Don't live by those 5 words, maybe it will go away.
Task force also points out cases of monkeypox are rarely fatal, but people with underlying conditions could be more at risk. If you have questions in Oakland County, you can call the Nurse on Call. That number's on your screen, 1-800-848-5533. We also posted it on clickondetroit.com for you on the homepage. Well, the city of Detroit is taking steps today to build more affordable housing. City leaders revealed today a 7-point affordable housing plan worth $203 million. City plans on renovating vacant apartment buildings and Detroit Land Bank Authority homes to produce affordable housing units. They also plan to help with mortgage down payment assistance and start a new housing services division. Many of the projects will be funded with more than $58 million from the American Rescue Plan Act.